Hi, I'm Dr. Thomas Dace from Precise Chiropractic Center in Lake in the Hills. Today you're watching Let's Talk Local by 216 Creator Studios. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe. Hi, I'm Dr. Thomas Dace from Precise Chiropractic Center in Lake in the Hills. For 20 years, my team and I have been helping people find real relief to their back pain and neck pain without the need for drugs or surgery. Our approach is simple. We combine advanced non-surgical care with proven technology like spinal decompression, soft wave therapy to help your body heal naturally. If you've been told surgery is your only option, well, it's not. We've helped hundreds of patients improve their mobility, cancel their surgeries, reduce pain, and get their lives back to living and doing what they love. Please visit precisechiro.com to learn more or schedule your consultation with us today. When you do, be sure to mention 216 Creator Studios for a special discount. Remember, federal guidelines do apply. At Precise Chiropractic Center, we don't just treat your symptoms, we've got your back.
Hey, everybody, it's your guy Deke here for another great episode of Let's Talk Local. Today, I'm honored to have my sister here with us. You might remember her from some of those crazy old podcasts, Bremer and Anything Goes with Bremer and Jones, way back years ago.
What about Whining with Dawn?
Whining with Dawn was a good one as well. It's Dawn Bremer from the Bremer Team, Keller Williams Success Realty. Welcome in, sister.
Thanks, brother.
You're looking great. Life is wonderful.
Yes, actually, life is very wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, you probably, if you know Dawn, you know her probably from everything that she does for the community, from murals to trunk or treats to everything. I mean, you're
My new one, 30 Days for 30 Vets.
30 Days for 30 Vets, which we'll definitely talk about, which is incredible. It's just a cool idea as well. But what she does is she owns the Bremer Team, which is a real estate agency.
That's correct. So I own the Bremer Team of Keller Williams Success, founded in 2018. There's 7 agents on my team, and our motto is we bring families home into the community.
Why?
Why do we bring families home?
Yeah. and why did you get in? I mean, that's a tough business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you get into that too? What's that passion?
It's what I knew actually at the time. My ex-husband was a real estate agent. His mom was a real estate agent. She was pretty successful. And when I was married, I did a lot of the real estate, which I probably should not have done. So don't practice real estate without a license.
Correct.
It's a huge fine.
Huge.
However, that's actually what I did. And I learned a lot by having to step in when I needed to. And so when I got divorced, it was sudden and I didn't know what I was going to do to support my 6-year-old and 11-year-old at the time. So I got my real estate license. It'll be 10 years ago this December. Isn't that crazy?
So how scary was it?
It was the scariest thing that I've ever done. It was pretty low time in my life. I was broke as could be, $90,000 into debt, had a house that I had no idea how I was going to pay for. So I stopped paying for it and did a short sale, which at that time you could drag out for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So I lived in that house with my kids for 2 years, paying utilities only, and ended up selling it at a short sale in 2018. Rented a house for a couple of years because that's what I had to do. And then I was able to buy my home on my own in 2020. So, but in that time, it was scary. The market was unknown and I didn't have a name. I didn't have a reputation. I had nothing.
I mean, it's interesting to me because a lot of people who jump into the real estate business do it on kind of a part-time, right? They have their full-time job and they're like, yeah, I'll dabble in. You jumped out of the plane without a parachute.
That is correct. It was very, very scary. And at the time I was getting no child support, no alimony. I had nothing. And so, but I had a great community, which is where I fell in love with our community in where I live in McHenry. The neighbors, they wrapped their arms around me. They watched my youngest child so that I could go on appointments and didn't charge me for babysitting rates. I had a community that would help me. And that is why I made a decision the minute I started to turn this into a good business that I'm going to always give back to the community that lifted me up when I was in my time of the worst need ever.
That's awesome. And so, you know, of course, we all know that the real estate fluctuates all the time. And you were in it in the good time when, you know, things were flying off the shelf. There were more rooftops than buyers. And man, it was, you know, everybody was getting approved and 2.3
2.65, 2.35.
Just giving away money.
Crazy.
Just giving away money. And then now you've also survived and have helped other families survive in this business when it hasn't been that way.
It is. And, you know, it's hard. People ask me all the time, oh, I want to be a real estate agent because you make it look so easy. It's not an easy business. Luckily, I got in when I can make a reputation, and your reputation is really all you have in this business.
Well, in anything. Yeah.
Right. And especially, you know, Google has been my number one supporter. I have luckily wonderful Google reviews, and that's where we get a lot of our business. So I always say that to all my networking meetings and all of my people, you can do everything great in your business, but if you're not asking for those reviews, you're not doing the business you need to do.
Yeah, that's all right. And by the way, give us a good review when you're done here.
Love this place.
Give us a 5-star.
I'll give you 5.5.
That's it. So throughout this adventure of yours, single mother, and still, so you've balanced a business that isn't, I'm going in at 9 and I'll be home at 3:30 to be right. I mean, it's, oh, I've got a showing at 8:30 tonight. Right. So you've had a very hectic business and family, you know, raising 2 young men who are incredible young men now. What was it that kept you going during that time? Because them. I mean, if it's not going to be me, who was it? We didn't have a support system. I didn't have, you know, they didn't have a dad who was taking them on the weekends and who was contributing. My father was passed away. My mother doesn't live here. You know, you're divorced, so you lose that other side of that family support. And so I didn't have a lot of people, but my motivation was those boys and how I was going to feed them. So when you're, you know, going to food pantries and, you know, you're taking the creamer from the Thornton's gas station so you can afford to have delicious coffee. That's right. You know, and you're taking those little cups and you stick them in your coat pocket, right? Hey, let's not forget about the jellies.
So, you know, you can have a lot of mac and cheese and you can have a lot of stuff. And the same token, I had some, as I said, some incredible business partners as well. I had loan officers who were like, let me buy you lunch. I had a title company who would say, hey, you know, let me support this. And so, you know, it takes a village.
Yeah, that's awesome. And everybody's dream, I think everybody's dream, right, is to have their own home, to own their own home. And you kind of take care of Northern Illinois, or you?
We do Northern Illinois and Southern Wisconsin.
Yeah. And so over this spread of 7, 8, 10 years, you helped how many families, do you think? Have you ever looked at that?
Well, actually, my son, that's weird that you said that, because today my youngest son said that he wants to do real estate. He literally says, hey, I'm thinking about it. What do I have to do for real estate? What college classes do you recommend? How do I get my license? And what classes do you recommend to take in high school? So I said, you can take real estate. And then I got that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah,
I got like, who do you recommend? And then in all caps, Mom, what the actual fuck and you open it up and it says that I have 654 closed sales and 190 million in total sales.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So in that time, your business has helped 654 families.
Yes. In 10 years.
That's amazing.
Pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Pretty cool.
Now, and I know you do a great job. How many of those are return?
Oh, actually, we do a ridiculous amount of return business. I would say that I think we do probably 35% of it is return. 85% of my business is referral based.
Yeah.
I do not pay for leads. I've never paid to be a Zillow preferred agent or any
Red
of those.
Bin or whatever.
No.
Yeah. And it's you do make it look very easy, but it's a grind.
It's a grind. And for me, people always like, well, where do you get your business from? Everybody knows my name. Well, everybody knows our name because we like to be in the community.
Yes.
And I mean what I say when I say I love the community.
Right.
Again, that community gave so much to me.
Yeah.
So like tomorrow we have our trunk or treat event, which is a totally
well, when this airs, it'll have been.
Yeah, it'll have already happened, but it's tomorrow and it's a huge trunk or treat event that we're lucky enough to be able to host at the outdoor theater. And we expect over 2,000 families to come through.
Yeah.
And my car, I have a Ford Explorer, is completely filled. The whole back seat with the stow and go thing, filled to almost the top with candy from generous donors and people who drop off and know what we do for the community.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we do stuff like that. We do the Easter egg event, which we also host at the outdoor theater. And this year we had 12,000 Easter eggs. And we made sure that each kid gets the exact same amount of candy. So we pre-package candy bags and we use the community to help it. And so we, the retirement communities, they're sitting there with nothing to do. And these older people, they love to help children. So they become the part of the line where we drop off the candy and they make the candy bags.
Right.
And they love it. And so it's community helping community.
I love it. And that's just that's a unique take. I wish, there was more of it all over, but that's kind of why we have Let's Talk Local as well is that we want to give back to the small businesses and run them up the flagpole. So people go, oh, I didn't know. Oh my gosh, I didn't know.
And they don't know what, all the little nuances that these small businesses do. And small businesses have it harder than most people realize. They don't have, anybody supporting them other than their family.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, we had the QR code up there, I think, Nico. But people need to get in touch with you. How they do that. If they have questions about real estate, if they're thinking of upsizing or downsizing, if they are wanting to just learn more about maybe what their next step is, because I know you do a lot of educating too, 654 homes.
And appealing taxes. So like right now, the tax bill just came out. Yes. Everybody just got their assessment taxes in McHenry County.
9.5%.
Mine is 11 and a quarter. So
that was mine last year.
Yeah. So you can call us and you can ask us to look at your tax evaluation and see if it's something that we can appeal for you.
Yeah.
But you can reach us at 847-456-6334 or bremerteaminfo@gmail.com.
Yeah. It's really the president of the school board that they keep.
Let me be very clear. Now, people ask me all the time, I don't understand you. You sell houses. People complain about the taxes, but you're the president of the school board. No, I am the president of the school board in the district that I live in. However, my high school district does not have as high taxes as the District 15. So let me just go for that. So
that's
there.
Right. I had to.
I love you, District 15.
Had to take that shot.
To get that back.
I had to get that shot in there. So what is the most difficult thing about real estate? What have you found over this 10 years the most difficult?
I think it is the fluctuating market, right? So you have a client who will say, well, my neighbor 5 months ago listed their house and had 18 offers and sold for 30,000 over asking. And you're asking me to do a price drop. And it's really hard for people to understand that as the stock market changes, as
all
what's
the
going on
variables.
is, when there's a government shutdown, when, there's tariffs, when all these things are happening and the world is not sure what's happening, real estate and big investments stop.
Yeah. But hey, and when it was 2% and 3% interest, banks were like, yeah, go for it.
Yes,
Go over.
Yes.
What do you need?
Yes.
Right?
And now
they're
I'm
like,
going to
"Whoa."
tell you, and this is a very big educational piece for people who do not understand real estate. I just taught a class at Heartland Association of Realtors on Wednesday to a bunch of people who've been in this business for a year. And we were just talking, and they were shocked to hear what I'm about to tell you. In 2009 to 2015, when the industry was plummeting, we were doing something called broker price opinions. A broker price opinion is a bank estimate value of your house. They don't know what the value is here in Illinois, right? Because they're in California or New York,
City,
so
yeah.
they don't know anything about it. So they hire local real estate agents to go out and appraise the houses and let you know what the value is. And when that is used, it's usually for a couple of things. Removal of PMI insurance, because now people own more than 20% down, so they can get their PMI removed. It is for a short sale, and it is for a foreclosure. And then I was doing 10 to 15 a day in 2009 to 2015, slowed down in 2016, 17, 18. Maybe I was doing 1 or 2 here and there in 19. And I literally let my BPO licensing expire with the broker price opinion companies in 20. And then I never looked back at BPOs. That's how I learned to price houses so much. In January of this year, I started to get some emails from these companies saying, hey, will you do some BPOs? And I was like, no, we're not doing BPOs. In February, I'm getting more aggressive emails saying, redo your licensing, no charge for the renewal, take your testing, because I'm actually NABBOP certified, which is the National Association for Broker Price Opinion Professionals. So I was like, not interested. In March of this year, they're calling me. We really need you to come back. There's a lot of inventory. So I said to my team, okay, do you guys want to learn how to do BPOs and price your houses? And we're taking them. And some of us are back to 5, 10 a week, guys. And so what that says to you is foreclosures and short sales are coming.
Yes.
And the reason people ask me why is because in COVID, people did the forbearance plans,
Yes.
which people didn't understand. A forbearance plan comes with a balloon payment, possibly. You might have to pay it all back. People took fluctuating arms. And so their mortgage payments went from $1,800 a month to $2,300 a month. And now they're going to go up again to $2,600 a month, which are pricing people out of their homes. So they're telling the banks, well, my house isn't worth as much as it was in 2021. But people are wrong. They're actually worth more than they were in 2020. So there's such a misunderstanding of what the market is to homeowners. And that's really what I want to get any messages out to people is this is going to be a rougher time again. We are going to you're going to start to see a lot more short sales and foreclosures, and you're going to see a lot more price drops, and you're going to see a lot of people leaving their houses because of the taxes and going into rentals, which is why you're seeing a ridiculous boom in new construction rentals.
It's huge. They're just on the way here. You come down 31.
You can just
another
see
another big one's coming.
And I sit as a commissioner of planning and zoning, and I can't tell you how many apartments and stuff that we've approved, right? Because people can't afford to buy.
Yeah.
And now rental rates. So example, when I told you that I had to rent my house in 2018, I started at $1,650 a month for a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,500 square foot house on a cul-de-sac with a basement and a fenced-in backyard. When I bought it in 2020, my rent was almost $1,800. If I was to rent my house, I literally priced it out. If I was to rent my house, I can rent my house out for $4,000 a month.
So Ashley and Jacob are in Park Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they pay for
Yes.
a 1, 2, 3 bedroom.
Yes, that's why they're coming
bed.
to talk to me. That's why we're talking.
That's good. Hey, they listen to me.
Yes,
Wonderful.
they did call me.
Which is great.
Yes. So, but what I'm just saying is people, you don't need to call me to say, hey, I want to sell my house.
Yeah.
Call me and have a conversation with
Right.
what's happening with the market and let me educate you with what your concerns are.
And listen, with the Bremer team, I can tell you that the conversation is more warranted, right? They want to educate you. They want you to be able to make there are companies, and we all know there are salespeople out there that all they want is, well, let's get this, let's do this. And no, I just really want some information.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, Dan Gleason is on my team, who's now the president of my commercial division.
Yeah.
He's been with me for 5 years. I met Dan because he called me to his house to say, I want to sell my house.
Yeah.
And I talked him out of selling his house and talked him into getting a real estate license,
right.
which was the smartest decision. Him and I both had that conversation, but he didn't sell his house.
Yeah.
He's improved his house. His house is worth so much more than it was 5 years ago. And he is the president of my commercial division because he realized the education that we give and how important it is. Right.
Yeah.
And so if I don't think your house is worth what you think it is, and it's going to cause you issues, I am going to tell you this is not the time to sell.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get the repeat business. Right. And in our team, we do something also very different is I started bringing, so I only list houses.
Correct.
I do not show houses to people, but I have 6 buyer's agents. And I now bring a buyer's agent on every listing appointment so that when I price your house, I'm going to price it like a listing agent for the most amount of money. And my buyer's agents are going to price it for what they would allow their clients to pay for it.
Brilliant.
And so it tells us where we're going to be. If I say your house is worth $275 and they're telling me I wouldn't let anybody pay more than $265, well, we're going to figure out where that range is. I don't want to overprice it. So we're just changing the way that we do things so that we can educate both sides.
That's brilliant. Yeah. And that's good to know because it's something that you do. 650 homes over the last 10 years. And most people may buy and sell twice in their lifetime. They buy their first home, they sell it, and buy their second home a lot of times, unless they get moved around a lot. So we think we know you deal with it on a daily basis, right? You literally on a daily basis. This is what happens. And so that education and understanding to put them in the best position to win, they're happy, and the people who are moving into their home are happy, is very, very, very smart.
And I'll tell you, the other thing is when you educate your clients, right? So I could go to your house and I could tell you your house is worth $250 and this is what I'm going to do. Or I can tell you that your house is with a range and this is what we're going to do. We're going to plan it. We're going to start at the highest range. And if we don't have anything in 7 days, it's the 7-21-11 rule. So like if nothing in 7 days, we're going to lower the price a little bit. But I've educated them when we went through our plan so that in 10 days, when I'm calling them or 7 days and saying it's time to lower their price, they're not like, well, what the heck?
Or they're calling you go, hey,
right. Why
moving.
There's no showings, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to set the expectations because this is the biggest asset for most people when they meet with me.
Yep. That's awesome. All right, we're going to shift gears, and we're sitting here with Dawn Bremer from Bremer Team, Keller Williams Success Realty, and we're going to shift gears because as we said a few minutes ago, your big focus is giving back to the communities that you service. And right now, last year you created 30 days for 30 veterans, and this is the second year you're doing it. Tell us about that. Tell us where that kind of conceived from and why, and how well it worked and what's happening.
Absolutely. So actually, there's an agent on my team, Michael Adams, who is a Marine who has served 2 tours in Iraq as a mortar combat. So, front of the line. And
an old guy, 20 something.
26 2 tours. Can you believe that?
Yes.
He'll be 27 in a couple
you hear 2 tours and
Right.
I think of the old guys from Vietnam, but no, he's literally 26.
He's literally 26.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about military. I didn't have military family, but I did watch him and his struggles. And I did watch him and what the war does to people, right?
Yeah.
And in our talks, we learned about how a lot of veterans are the forgotten ones. And then Courtney Wander from Innovative Homes and Rhett, their partners, they came to me and said, well, we want to give away a roof to a veteran. Well, you do a lot of community giveaways. How would we do that? And so we sat there and I just started talking with Michael and Courtney. And then we said, give us 10 minutes, 10 days, 10 minutes. Let us figure out what we can do. I called my friends over at Home Depot, Jerry and Sarah, the 2 district managers in Bolo and McHenry. They came to my office and we sat and talked about it. And then we all said, well, why would we just stop with a roof? And in about an hour and a half's time, we were able to dial and call a bunch of businesses and get pledges of up to $200,000 in home repairs and remodeling for veterans. And then we developed right there 30 days. Why not give one every day in November? It's Veterans Month.
Yeah.
And so we ended up giving away over $200,000 last year of in-kind donations. Actually, we ended up doing the $200,000. And then this year, one veteran, he wanted a ramp and he couldn't get a ramp because of the elevation of his deck. Home Depot couldn't accommodate it. So we ended up giving him a washer and dryer that he also needed. But we had given 30 vets new bathroom, new kitchen, new windows, gutters, landscaping, flooring, appliances, anything that we could do for 30 veterans. And this one veteran was always something in my mind. He had a really hard time going upstairs to his house. So I met with Sean Burke, the director of purchasing for Lennar Homes, because they're joining us this year for 30 days for 30 vets. And he said, was there any projects that you didn't get to? And I told him about this guy. And these people, $65,000 project they just did for him, one guy. They took away his deck. They rebuilt him a deck with a ramp. They gave him a wrought iron fence for his dog. They redid his sidewalk. They did the landscaping. They redid the grass. And they did all of this for this guy because he's a veteran.
Yeah.
And so we decided, well, we're going to do this again this year. So our committee just met on Tuesday and we picked our 30 veterans. Next week, we'll start letting those veterans know. And again, another veteran's going to get a roof and there's bathroom remodels and there's,
So do you put like faces on the wall and throw darts when you pick veterans? I mean, when you say pick veterans, what's that process?
So there is an application that they have to fill out and or nominate somebody. Then we printed all of those applications and then I redacted any names, emails, phone numbers, if they said they volunteered at an organization, I kept what they did, but took out the organization. And then we had a board of directors of 7 people who sat and read what their needs were, their service was, what they did, how many nominations they got. And we picked 30 vets. And we do keep our backups. We have had a few people this year who weren't part of our 30-day vets from last year that we did give stuff to if we have extra donations. And now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start calling those veterans and letting them know. A lot of them don't know they were nominated.
Yeah, I was just going to go there. Yeah.
And I will tell you, last year when we would call, they would say, thank you so much, but please give it to somebody who's more, deserving than me. And we'd be like, nope, you're the deserving one, so you're going to do it.
And that's why I was going to bring that up. And I think it's great that, you can nominate people because veterans are so proud, right? I mean, they've given everything, they've made the ultimate sacrifice. And their belief still is, I'm not deserving, hey, I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm blah, 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 right? Whatever. But no, this is a way to thank you for literally putting your life on the line for ours.
Yeah. One of my favorite stories was a gentleman by the name of Thomas. And he was a veteran of Vietnam War. And he hand built his house. It's a gorgeous house in Crystal Lake. And it was just gorgeous. The man built it with his own hands. And his wife had COPD and she was having a hard time because there was no air conditioning. They had no air conditioning in this house. And so they got window air conditioning units for 2 rooms and she lived in 2 rooms. literally.
Yeah.
And so they want a whole new HVAC system. And we went to their house to meet with him. And he sat us down. We were there for a long time. And he sat us and he showed us pictures he had all out and everything he had done. He was so proud of what he had done at Vietnam. And then he started to cry to tell us that when he came back from Vietnam, like I will never forget this story, that he had nobody there to greet him, that he had to pay for his own bus, that he got on the bus and that the people on the bus were spitting at him and calling him a traitor. Somebody spit in his face.
Jeez.
And here he is, all these years later, we came to his house to say, thank you. Thank you for your service. And we're going to give you an air conditioning and a furnace
50 years later.
Right. 40 or 50 years later. And he just couldn't comprehend it. And then every veteran gets a gift from us that is handmade, one of those American flag signs. I thought you had one. American flag sign with the green thing that's done by Robert Clark, who hand makes each one of them for the veterans. And you come in with that, and they could care less about the air conditioning unit
or the roof
or anything else you're giving to them. But that American flag, that wood flag, brought these men to their knees. Men openly wept for the flag. That's something that I will never get over in my life, right? And to us, I look at the flag and I look at it as a flag, but like it changed forever the meaning to me of what the American flag is to these people. And so months later, he came in just to show us that he had a whole faux fireplace put together so he can hang it on his faux fireplace, which he made. Everybody agreed that would be the heirloom passed on from generations to generation, was that American flag that Robert Clark made.
That's cool. And of course, so I'm gonna put this out there. One of our great podcasts is Roger That Chronicles. It's all about veterans, for veterans, by veterans. So here's what 216 Creator Studios will do is anybody who agrees, we can come out, takes pictures. We'll put together an entire
That'd be great
video for your 30 days, 30 vets.
That would be awesome.
And we'll produce it. And then that way it can just grow. And
that would be awesome.
We'd absolutely love to do that.
Because we need donors, sponsors. I cannot take money. So nobody can donate any money. I'm not a non-for-profit. This is just a
time, talent, services.
And thing that I want to do. So if you know of an HVAC company, a roofer, a remodeler, tile, flooring, any of these people, we are still looking for people who will help these veterans. And if you want to give money, you can buy a Home Depot gift card and drop it off at our office. And then they can use that towards supplies and stuff. But that's the only way we're able to take any financial donations.
And if you're listening and you forget that, just reach out to info@216 Creator Studios and just put 30 days, 30 bets in there. We'll make sure Dawn and her team get it, and we'll guide you in any way. But yeah, what we would love to do is, as long as the families are okay, we would love to come out and do before or afters and create an entire video for 30 days for 30
Yeah, some of the before and afters are crazy.
Yeah.
This one guy, he had a really small kitchen with just one wall of things, of cabinets, and Home Depot came in and made a full kitchen with tons of cabinets, got all new stainless steel appliances, all new countertops. He was like, oh my God, he was so excited. They even gave him spices and they filled up his spice rack. Like it was just great. Home Depot has just been an incredible sponsor.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Home Depot. Appreciate you. Another shout out, right? Awesome. So we're getting towards the tail end of this. Again, they're right below my right there is bremerteam.com. Right up over here by the guitar, right up over here is the QR code. So
this is Kent Jones, right?
Grab that and it'll take you there as well. But yeah, 30 days for 30 vets. This is, it's awesome. Second year. So this is the first annual.
First annual.
Right. Last year was the inaugural. This is the first annual. Went off without a hitch. So many lives are changed, which is great. And when I say so many lives are changed, that what you do for that service member and that veteran is you drop the rock in the pond and it ripples from there, because now they're they have gratitude, and it just it goes, which is way cool. So you're affecting so many more people than just the immediate family.
Affected so many more
Yeah,
people that
absolutely.
they're the ones who make the ripples in the pond that gave us the freedom we have.
Yeah. And of course, my son's a veteran. So to me, that holds a very, very dear place in our heart. And that's why 216, does that. But Roger That Chronicles, great show. Just, we get vets in here and just tell stories and everything they went through.
You should talk to Thomas.
Yeah, we absolutely will. Absolutely will. So, any last words? Thank you so much. I just absolutely adore you and love you. My family does. And I appreciate you ripping some time out of your busy schedule to come in and be on Let's Talk Local.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And, listen to 216 and the Net Studios. They're Creative Studios.
Creator Studios. 216 the Net's our radio still. So,
okay. They're the best of the best. Do a podcast. Listen to the podcast. You're not going to get a better person to do anything to showcase your business.
That's it.
We absolutely love
it. Thank you. Yeah.
Love you, brother.
You are like in my heart. So that's what
I get you. Love you.
So for all of us here at 216 Creator Studios, thanks for hanging out with us on Let's Talk Local. You need to buy, sell a house, or just get educated in the real estate industry. If you're thinking about doing anything with your house, or you think your taxes are too high, reach out to bremerteam.com, and they'll take care of you 100%.
Thank you.